Welcome to Northrop Auditorium on the University of Minnesota campus. I'm Tom Weber from NPR News, and I'm here to moderate a discussion on protests and protesting. It's part of a series here at the College of Liberal Arts called Big Questions. And this big question in this series is this: is there a right way to protest?
Support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains.
Can we have your attention, please, everybody in the audience today? We are here to express our deep concern for this event. The way that it has been framed, the people who this question is being directed toward, are all problematic. Asking this question places the blame on ostracized students of color and other historically marginalized students on this campus. Asking this question places the blame on grieving community members at the 4th Precinct. This question deflects the ways that the University of Minnesota has caused students to protest. It deflects the ways that the University of Minnesota has neglected our organizing attempts. And that is what we are here to address to you today.
When you talk about grand challenges, diversity, campus climate, those are all euphemisms. For what? For white supremacy, for homophobia, for heteropatriarchy, capitalism, imperialism, legacies and the vestiges of which are still on this campus and condition our everyday realities as underrepresented, multiply marginalized students on this campus. So we're here to disrupt this discussion.
So what is left out of the beautiful narrative that was just constructed from the letter that we wrote was several things. That last November, when APIs for Equity and Diversity showed up at the Office in Equities Diversity's annual breakfast, we were met with cops before we got an opportunity to meet with each other. That last November, when the white supremacists shot the Black Lives Matter protesters in the 4th Precinct, that the university failed to send out a crime alert when the University Research Outreach Center is right next to the 4th Precinct. So what kind of message are they sending when that happens? And like was already said, that a year ago, 13 students were arrested on campus grounds for wanting to create change in removing racial alerts on our crime alerts that worked to criminalize our black students here on campus. That they were working to create more funding for the Ethnic Studies Department that to this day continues to be underfunded and underdeveloped. Because for us, incremental progress is progress for the oppressor. It is not progress for the oppressed. And I want everyone here to know that we can no longer have business as usual, because even as we're having this discussion right now, in this very moment, there are black and brown bodies getting shot on the streets. That there are families, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, sons, daughters, students that are being separated because of the immigration protocols that exist in this country. That in this very moment, there are mothers, there are fathers, there are brothers, there are sisters, there are students that are getting incarcerated under that same exact system. So they're all connected. And this question of is there a right way to protest, this university has already demonstrated that it knows the answer to that question. That to play this game of having a discussion is to place at the center of this conversation, but not include them in the conversation, the exact people that are affected and impacted daily by what is happening on this university, the Twin Cities, and the entire nation.
So if you want big questions, we have them. We are here to demand that this panel be radically redesigned because we consider you all to be committed to social justice on and off campus. We are asking you to stand in solidarity with us by answering these alternative questions. So our first question is, how do we make it safer for organizers both on and off campus, to express dissent without fear of criminalization.
What structural conditions on campuses and in the community bring about protests? In other words, how is the university culpable in creating the conditions for which students are forced to do this kind of action?
So why did the police use violence against peaceful protesters at the 4th Precinct?
How do you support student activists seeking to effect transformative changes related to social justice?
And why are the actions of a white nativist militia armed with guns whose ideas are guided by manifest destiny logic compared to the work of social justice organizers on this campus and folks like Black Lives Matter? Can someone tell me that? Answer that question.
Why did the university issue a crime report when white supremacist terrorists attempted to murder community members at the 4th Precinct right outside of the Urban Research and Outreach Engagement Center?
How does arresting and jailing student protesters help students feel safe expressing dissent?
And this isn't on your list, but how do we protect our faculty who are expressing dissent under the administration when we have seen multiple times the number of times that staff of color are bullied out of a job because they disagree with those higher ups?
So again, because we admire and respect the integrity and the brilliance of the panelists, we're asking you all to stand in solidarity with us by answering these questions and not the ones that the moderator has prepared, NPR has prepared, and thank you.